a stacked weekend, like I said, and let's start off with Stand and Deliver. It is Saturday afternoon, special time, so it was like that last year, I think. Yeah, it was. So, I mean, this should be a really good show because, well, there's going to be a match that I'm looking forward to. So, yeah, I can't wait to see what happens. And I mean, that's the thing. I don't know exactly what will happen because there's a lot of twists and a lot of turns. And I think that'll be interesting to see what the matches are going to have. Or, yeah, I'm just rambling right now. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Anyways, let's get started. Oh boy. Yeah, so this match, oh my god, this match is going to be great. And you know, one of those things that Johnny Gargano had said that he invented, and yes, he had matches with Tommaso Ciampa and other matches, but anyways, an unsanctioned match, we've got Johnny Gargano, Mr. Wrestling, versus Grayson Waller. Now, for weeks, Grayson Waller has had a bad attitude, and, you know, there was the last week or the week before that where Grayson went to Johnny and Candice's house, and then Johnny met up with them and beat the shit right out of them. Well, they beat the shit out of each other. And, you know, this all goes back to, you know, there was Grayson Waller wanting to have a match with Shawn Michaels, but Shawn, you know, doesn't want to go back in the ring no more. So he said, you're going to be facing Johnny Gargano, who basically, after he got injured, was transferred to Raw. But now that he's back in NXT, you know, definitely cool to see what happens in this match. And I mean, it's a different Johnny Gargano, but this should be a good match. For the outcome, I really don't know. I mean, it's going to be a hell of a fight. Not a straight up wrestling match, just a hell of a fight, and we'll see what happens. But I think, honestly, Johnny Gargano should win. I think there's a lot of, you know, pent up anger in him. Obviously, you don't mess with someone's family. And so, when I honestly think that Grayson Waller should just get his ass whooped, you know, it's just, there's nothing better than seeing somebody who's been a fucking wreck and machine and just being that kind of a person and arrogant and everything else, and then have them get what they deserve. So yeah, it'll be a fun match. For the NXT Women's Championship, and we have Roxanne Perez, who will take on Zoe Stark, who will take on Gigi Dolan, who will take on Tiffany Stratton, who will take on Lara Valkyrie, or Valkyria, whatever, and Indy Hartwell. So, we all know what happened with Roxanne passing out after the match with Meiko Satomura, so it's going to be a very good match. I don't think, at least I don't remember to my knowledge, except for obviously the Money in the Bank match, seeing a women's ladder match for the title. Correct me if I'm wrong, but, and I thought Roxanne was out, but apparently she's not. She's still a champion, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. And obviously I haven't seen Corey Jade in a while. I think she's injured. So for my pick, I'm gonna say Roxanne retains, or let's have Zoe Stark as the champion. I mean, there's a potential feud there, and I think Zoe deserves it. I really do. She's been in the company now for at least 2 years. So, yeah, I think it's the NXT Take Team Championships. Phelan Henley, Kiana James, who will take on Elba Fire, and Isla Dawn. Now, obviously, Keely Ray and Isla Dawn had a lot of good matches on NXT UK, so the fact that it comes full circle, in my opinion, having Isla Dawn show up in NXT US, and now they're a take team after they had a match. And it makes sense too, because they have that dark, mysterious Scottish thing, going on. So I think Fallon and Kiana are a good take team. I just don't know if I smell a heel turn or not. And I would like to see Alba and Ayla as the take team champions. That would be pretty fucking cool. I mean, that's the thing. I really enjoy stuff like that. So if it happens, cool. If it doesn't, well, that'll happen eventually. I know. This one is the Fatal 5-Way for the North American Championship. We've got Wesley, who takes on JD McDonough, Ilya Dragunov, Zion, and a debuting of Rush's younger brother, Dragon Lee. And I think it's very cool to see this happen, because I think Dragon Lee had wrestled everywhere: Mexico, Japan, Ring of Honor. What better way to continue your wrestling journey than to go in one of the biggest companies? And I mean, it's not a lot where you see somebody from the independent scene go to the WWE. And I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, you already have Santos Escobar, and now you have Dragon Lee, and I think that's gonna be interesting to see what he can do. And I mean, I don't see him win this match, so I mean, for me, again, Wesley's been a good champion, but for me, it's either gonna be JD McDonough or Ilya Dragunov, and I know that their feud is not over. I know that for sure. It's still gonna be a hell of a fight. Threat for the men's take team championships. I know we talked about the women's one earlier. We have Gallus, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang, who will take on the Creed brothers, Brutus and Julius, and Ivy Nile in their corner, versus the D'Angelo family. We got Tony D'Angelo and Channing, Stax, Lorenzo, and this is gonna be a brutal fight for sure. This match, I mean, the Creed brothers had been the champions, and I think that Gallus have been a great tag team in NXT UK, now coming into NXT US and having that gold now and being that dominant. Now, their thing at the bar a few weeks ago was pretty cool. The D'Angelo family, I'm not quite sure. I mean, I'd like to see that happening, but we'll find out who's a better team. I honestly don't know. I could easily say that Gallus is going to win, but I don't know, because the Creed brothers have had a great time with the titles, And the D'Angelo family, not quite yet. I see Tony eventually either get the North American title or the NXT title. But, you know, tag team match. The winners gain control of Chase U. And we have, of course, Chase University, Andre Chase, Duke Hudson, and Tyler Bate to hell. And they're gonna take on, and my new favorite stable, Schism. Of course, Joe Gacy, Jake Reed, Rip Fowler, and Ava. So, I'm really looking forward to this match. And as much as I like Schism, honestly, I think that Chase University is gonna win. There's no way they're gonna let Chase University go like that. There's no way. I think the only way is if Duke turns on Andre, which I think a lot of people want to see, so you know, it's gonna be a good match for sure. So yeah. Now we have the NXT Championship. Braun Breaker taking on Carmelo Hayes with Trick Williams. In this match, you know, it's kind of like the thing with Apollo Crews and Braun Breaker. It was almost like, hey, let's be friends, you know. We should have a friendly wrestling match. And it did turn out to be aggressive, obviously. This match is going to be interesting, and the other vignettes were kind of similar, but yeah. And I mean, with Carmelo transitioning from a heel to a babyface, it's going to be interesting to see who they're going to cheer for. I think he's a face. I'm not quite sure. But, yeah, I could easily see Braun retain. I don't know if Trick is going to do just that. You know, have, you know, tricks up his sleeve and somehow get Carmelo to be the new NXT champion. I think that would be interesting, but I don't see it right now, and I don't know who a credible opponent would be to take the title off of Braun. I know eventually he's going to go to Raw or SmackDown. It's just a matter of when. So I'm still going to pick Braun, but we'll see what happens with that. But anyways, this was Stand and Deliver. There was a bit of confusion, but it's going to be a good show. And WrestleMania, baby. Bye.
So you know that them cutting WCW was a long time coming. But you know, I think that there's this myth out there that Jamie Keller that's why he took pleasure in cutting WCW. I don't think that's the case at all. Because if you look at some of his earlier interviews, like